that the national government is blowing away about 25 billion shillings last financial year on foreign travels alone. This is at a time when the head of public service had already issued a circular directing a 50% reduction in this. Don't you agree that in as far as this, because the president has already come out and pronounced himself on the same, that is simply paying lip service to his own statements on austerity and foreign travel, to be precise?
Fred, I'll answer your question, but first of all, let me respond to what Harrison has said. In Kenya, we are a democracy. You cannot compare President Ruto to dictator Nicolae Ceausescu of Romania. Ceausescu had been president for over 20 years, and he had all those weaknesses, and he had grip on power forever without intention of leaving power. But in Kenya, we're a democracy that goes to election after 5 years. So it is very wrong to compare our president with the dictator Ceausescu. Then, now, when we get to the issue of opulence, it is by national consensus and in our best interest that we cut down on our expenditure. But now, when you get to the issue of the president traveling to Ethiopia in a private jet, we don't expect him to use a matatu to go to Ethiopia. The image of the president is as good as the image of the country. And we're not Tanzania. If Magufuli was doing his things the way he was
Kenya
doing
Airways a matatu.
And again,
it has business class where the president can enjoy the luxury.
That's a public transport.
Is it wrong for the president to use public transport?
I'm not saying it's wrong, but that's public transport, and it's easily comparable to leaving your official car to take a matatu. Now you want your president to take a matatu to go and attend international functions so that we please people. You know,
he has a presidential jet.
The opposition has a very specific... The presidential jet could be having issues just like another equipment that one can use, like your car sometimes stalls. You use alternative means. So you cannot, as a president, from an official vehicle, you land in Ethiopia in a matatu. It doesn't make sense. So we need to be practical in whatever we do as criticism.
What about the debate on austerity? Because the president himself has pronounced himself on this matter. There's official communication from his head of public service.
Now the president communicates, and then there are people who are employed in different dockets who are supposed to carry that responsibility. So if there is excess travels, then specific people who are heads of department or who are heads of ministries are supposed to take responsibility and ensure that they implement whatever the president has issued as a directive.
And Fred is asking you, the State House, you're explaining all these...
Harrison, now you are changing the question. You are interpreting the question for him.
No. Okay. I think the audience...
And he's here. You cannot speak on his behalf.
Let him finish.
So you cannot expect the president to be using a matatu to get to some places. But now, on the issue of austerity measures, every state department has its responsibility to enact or to implement what is the presidential directive.
Do you believe the president has lived to his word when it comes to austerity?
I believe so, and he's been very strict. For him, he has communicated to his officers. Now, it's those officers to ensure that they implement what has been communicated by the president.
The travel budget for State House alone moved to 4 billion shillings, according to the control of budget. This was not the initial amount.
It all depends. And again, when you look at these travels, now if you're talking about State House, it all depends on the purpose of the travel. Sometimes you have to travel to put more value to the country as opposed to just staying around with the rest of us. The president is not like the rest of us. He has a responsibility that he has been voted for, to work for us, and is our chief diplomat, to create relations with the other countries and do business with other countries. For
the question I'm asking him that I would like him to answer is that this is the same president who says that, we are going to have all these digital, nodes and all of a digital highway. Why isn't this president going online and saying that, I'm on Zoom now, does he need... Hold on. Does he believe in what he says? And Fred is asking the question, does he believe in that austerity?
You asked Fred's question, you are changing your role. Your role here is not to ask Fred's question.
I asked about the pronouncements...
Is Harrison your spokesperson?
No. I asked about the pronouncements by the president on austerity.
Yes.
His communication about issues to do with expenditure, government expenditure.
Yes.
He has come out and pronounced himself on the matter. His head of public service has issued a circular, which is on record.
Now, that's why I'm saying you got back to mention about State House. And I said every travel is supposed to be quantified in terms of value. And unless we do that kind of scrutiny, it will be difficult.
So you do agree that
we are making progress.
That he and his administration communicates one thing and does the other?
That's not what I'm saying.
Oh.
I'm saying in other situations like the heads of departments are duty bound to ensure that they implement what the president communicates. But again, when the president is running affairs that are in favor of the country, money is supposed to be spent.
So even if he's running affairs of the country, he's running affairs of the country, yes, but he communicates one thing, and because of his running affairs of the country, does something different. Do you agree that that is doublespeak?
No.
No, he is doublespeak. That's doublespeak. That's
doublespeak. Do you see a problem here? That there's communication that this government says, no, we don't have money, there's no school money for capitation, we are living in dire straits, and therefore this is what they're communicating. There's a circular by the head of public service.
You know, you ask.
Allow me, I'll ask the questions the way I want. Do you agree that this is clear doublespeak from the part of the government?
Edimony. On the outset, let us all be clear, because all of us live here. None of us live from the universe, and the clear position is very clear that a state, if we really want to walk its talk, it must lead by example. There's no way that you can be giving instructions, directions on what you want to be done publicly, including changing lifestyles. And then you're on top gear, showing people how to spend lavishly. What's wrong with the president using his private jet? Because actually he has one. Why should he move to hire if we have one that actually is entitled to him? I don't think that even touring 4 hours from here to Addis Ababa, there was such emergency that particular jet that actually used could not be able to manage his tour. That he could go lavishly to spend 12 million to such a private one instead of using what actually he has. In fact, I don't think that even Ceylon, as much as Fwamba want to tell us that in fact we want to make a deal, you must spend. We are not saying that, in fact, the head of state should not spend. But he also should spend on a manner that everybody will be able to say, there's no waste here. But when you go to that extent, you have left your jet here, and then you are taking an option of taking a private one. Why do you want to go that direction? Really? Ethiopia is not America, that you can say that maybe your jet cannot be able to give you a freight service. Surely, if really we want to walk our talk, then it has started from the top. And there's no way that, in fact, we can be fooled, hoodwinked, that people are just slaves. And they must do what the masters are doing, but the masters has no duty to follow any order that actually they are applying. Mm-hmm. Then, this country, it's all of us. We are under one roof of constitution. If really we want to spend less, it must be all of us. Yes. Because the issue is about communication here, Bwana Fwamba, and the president has always insisted that we should live within our means. These are words that have come from him. And the question is, fine, there could be necessity, but what is he communicating vis-a-vis what he is doing? That is the issue here.
Yes, for me, I'm getting back to the point of the value for money. I'm not the president's spokesperson.
No, but do you agree that in as far as communication is concerned, the people would require answers from some of these pronouncements?
Yeah, they will, and I believe, objectively speaking, whatever amount of money is used is supposed to give us value for money. And that's the only thing that needs to be demonstrated by the government. For as long as we are spending money that brings value to us, then we are not supposed to be focused so much on complaining, but focus more on what are the kind of benefits are we getting as a result of this kind of expenditure. Okay. If we look at it that way, then it will be objective more than the political approach. And
I'll go back to the headline. My big question, Edimuni, is this. The president does not work alone. The president is a system. If you want to master those other agencies, you don't want them to spend. Should you always wait for you to go to look for us or to search and or to negotiate for us, and then nobody else should spend? Mm-hmm. You are the only one with a window to spend, and nobody should spend. And when anybody else spend, then that is wrong. And when you are spending, it is not wrong. Are you the one who should always late?
Has it been declared that way? It has not.
No.
Yeah,
The control of budget, the control of the budget is not inventing figures. She said that, look, there is a 3.2 billion expended by State House between the month of May 2025 and June 2025. Hello?
What should be...
Hold on, 3.2 billion.
What has it brought in terms of value?
What do you mean value for money? What is the value for money there?
As
Value
opposed
for
to
money.
just approaching it politically.
All right, I'll take you back as we come to the end of the show. I'll take you back to the headline of the Standard yesterday. We talked about debt horror. Since President William Ruto took over, the country has been borrowing a troubling 2.2 million shillings per minute, 137,000.5 million shillings per hour, and 3.3 billion shillings per day. This so far has borrowed 3.5 trillion shillings in the 3 years he's been president. The issue that is raised here is that there's no tangible evidence or visible development project that this money has gone into. Because ideally, any money borrowed should be not for recurrent expenditure, but for development purposes. The mega infrastructure projects that this government is trying to undertake or promising to undertake is being financed through other means. The Talanta Stadium through a securitization system. The Rironi Mau Summit Road through a private-public partnership deal. And one wonders, 3.5 trillion shillings in 3 years with nothing to see or to show for it, doesn't that leave more questions than answers? As we mark 3 years of President William Ruto. Wakili, you go first, as you make your final comments.
It's very unfortunate because, first of all, we have heard these lamentations from the National Assembly, Parliament. You didn't come to us to borrow this money, and you are entering into these sort of secretive agreements. Mine would be that